Hello, I'm Reverend Heather Miner. I'm the pastor here at North Long Beach Christian Church, Disciples of Christ. And I welcome you to this time of reflection and inspiration based on Psalm 85. Have you ever been so angry with the one that you love that you lost all your words and all you could do was run out the door or stomp your feet or throw a shoe at them? You know, parents have to take time outs from their children from time to time because children push the wrong buttons at the wrong times. If I walk around my area around 6 p.m. at night, my idyllic neighborhood feels more like the scene of a horror film. Parents come home from a long day of struggle with children who are home from a long day of struggle, and you look in the refrigerator and what those wonderful ingredients, no longer like food, look like food anymore. You know, the cries of the damned are no match for the cries of the tired and the hungry. Well, thank goodness for video games and for television, which allows everyone to take a time out in order to get what they need. Now, it's not just parents with their children, is it? Lovers too need to learn to take a time out from one another from time to time, to walk away when an argument gets heated so that they can settle themselves and then return to one another. In a group or an organization, when heated disagreements arise, and they do, instead of pushing forward, it often helps to take a step back and wait until we can turn back towards one another once again. You know, the favorite tool is, let's table this. But it is hard to step back when there are things we want to get done, when there are hungers we wish to satisfy. Be warned, when doing becomes more important than our being together, we can deepen the growing chasm between our hearts. In our spiritual lives, a similar desire to get things done, we can neglect our relationship with our God, with our Creator, until we have lost sight of the lover of our souls. The chasm, the hurt, deepens and widens, and we start blaming, and we blame in order to take away the shame of being in the wrong. But we can step back, we can take a break, we can take a time out. Come on now, even God had to take a break. That's what the seventh-day Sabbath is for. It is why we who worship on Sundays, we do not have meetings and we do not talk about property needs. You can write it down, you can put it on a phone recorder. Monday is soon enough. Sunday is our time to connect with one another and to our God. And now that I've scratched that itch, friends, pause once in a while. Take that time, because when we pause, we then come to understand, we come to realize once again that the things of this world, whatever it is we are doing, it will never fully satisfy our souls longing. And we can recognize then that, hey, I'm disconnected from the source of my life. And we can take time and ask, hey, God, where are you in all of this? Where are you, my life and my salvation? Now, one way to listen to Psalm 85 is to listen as one who has just returned their gaze towards God. And with that hope of reconnecting to the source of life. So listen to Psalm 85, the song of faith. To the leader of the Korahites, a song. Lord, you were favorable to your land. You restored the fortunes of Jacob. You forgave the iniquity of your people. You pardoned all their sin. Selah. You withdrew all your wrath. You turned from your hot anger. Oh, restore us again, O God of our salvation, and put away your indignation toward us. Will you be angry with us forever? Will you prolong your anger to all generations? Will you not revive us again so that your people may rejoice in you? Show us your steadfast love, O Lord, and grant us your salvation. Let me hear what the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace to his people, to his faithful, to those who turn to him in their hearts. Surely his salvation is at hand for those who fear him, that his glory may dwell in our land. Steadfast love and faithfulness will meet. Righteousness and peace will kiss each other. Faithfulness will spring up from the ground, and righteousness will look down from the sky. The Lord will give what is good, and our land will yield its increase. Righteousness will go before him and will make a path for his steps. May God bless the reading of God's holy word. Amen. Now the psalmist, when looking back, realizes his turning away has hurt the relationship with Yahweh, and that there are consequences. God gets angry. And when God gets angry, not only are there spiritual consequences, but there are earthly consequences as well. The psalm hints at what the prophets makes clear, and that the land that the people live upon is only as healthy as is the faith of the people. For example, in Isaiah 5, we hear that the land will not produce for those who seek after wealth. All you who join house to house, who add field to field, the Lord of hosts has sworn in my hearing. Surely those houses will be made desolate. For 10 acres of vineyard shall yield 1 bath, and a homer of seed shall yield a mere ephah. 1 bath, 10 acres on average should yield 500 baths, according to Eliot's commentary on the Bible. A homer of seed, well, an ephah is only 1/10 of what it should produce. Land, both possession and fruitfulness of, in our scripture, in our faith, is connected intimately with our relationship, with the people's relationship with God. When people push God away, the relationship rift causes, hear this, earthly consequences. So, if you want to talk about today's environmental struggles, Scripture suggests we begin by restoring the earth, by restoring our relationship with our Creator. Indeed, sustained behavioral change is always rooted in faith. Behavioral change, care of ourselves and our planet, is rooted in faith, in our relationship with our Creator. You know, when I finally did change my diet, I didn't do it for another person. And even my desire to lose weight was not enough, nor my need for omeprazole every day. What allowed me to change my behavior, my pattern, my actions, was I was tired. I was tired of bowing down to a need for this food or that food or Diet Coke at 3 p.m. The only one I want to bow down to is God. Change then is rooted in faith. Faith is rooted in our relationship with God. And when relationship with God is right, we have the strength to choose differently. And our individual choices of who we serve has earthly consequences. All right, let's turn towards a positive perspective. You know, one of our favorite closing songs come out of Isaiah's prophecy, Isaiah 55:12. The trees of the field will clap their hands. It speaks of what happens when people return to the Lord their God. When relationship is restored, the land not only becomes fruitful, it becomes joyful, trees clapping their hands. Fruitful, the Lord will give what is good, and our land will yield its increase. Verse 12 in our psalm. So return and seek your God. Begin, though, by calling God to return. Plead to have God come back into your life. Yes, plead. Patrick of our Bible study talked about the need for humility. How pleading is a humbling exercise. You don't plead from a position of righteousness and strength. You plead when you know you stumbled and you need help to get up. Think of a moment of what a child says to their parent. When a child says to their parent, Mama, Papa, I'm sorry. In that moment, it doesn't matter what the child has broken or spoken or forgotten. A parent's heart melts. Anger recedes, and Papa, Mama, Abba opens their arms, letting love return, welcoming the child back. The Psalm's cry from the heart is like a child's plea for the parents to welcome her back into his love. Will you be angry with us forever? Verse 5. The child's gaze is moved from whatever it was on before back to their God. Won't you, oh God, won't you yourself come back to us? It needs to be an honest plea in order for us to return to the mercy of the Lord. You see, moms know when their child is saying what they think the mom wants to hear so they can get what they want. You know, it begins with, oh, this big-eyed approach. Oh, Mama. And you say, oh, yes. What is it? Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you too. So what is it you want? How different that approach is from the teary-eyed plead to come back. One where the emotion of brokenness manifests in a choked out hope. I'm sorry. Now, God cannot ignore a plea from a faithful person, a faithful child, any more than a mother can ignore the plea of her child. To restore or deepen your relationship with God, then, step back so you can return your gaze back to the lover of your soul. And then with humility, plead for Yahweh's return. Won't you yourself, oh God, come back to me? Or maybe you say something like, please, oh God, let me hear your voice again. Or maybe, oh Lord, my God, have mercy on me. Restore me to your salvation. Or maybe you're inspired by a song, change my heart, oh God, may I be with you. So take a moment this week and express your longing for your God with a line of prayer. In humility, compose something that you can come back to again and again, that asks for God to see you again, to return to you, to restore you. Let it be honest, let it be true to you, and let it be humble like a child's plea, one that cries out for the love of your Abba. And as it does with our earthly parents, your plea will move God to turn back towards you. That's what the psalm promises. That's what is celebrated in Psalm 85. Look back at verse 3, and here is Bob's translation. You removed all your fury. You have recovered from the fierceness of your anger. That word that Bob translates as recovered sparked a whole lot of interest on Monday. It was as if God had been made sick by our turning away. Our plea for the Eternal One then is the medicine God needs in order to restore God's self to us. And another who studied with us noted that God's chesed, this word that's translated as mercy or loving kindness, God's mercy was submerged in anger as a destroyed vessel is submerged in the ocean. And it is the faithful person's plea that, like cables that pull a ship from the ocean bottom, the faithful's plea can bring chesed back from the deep. God's mercy is recovered. Your relationship with God has spiritual and earthly consequences. And the good news is this: you do not have to plan a deep sea recovery mission in order to restore God's mercy in your life or upon the earth. You want to save the earth? You want to revive the cities? You want to bring peace? It begins not with your education or your cleverness or your giftedness, though God will use all of those things. It begins with a faithful, pleaful prayer. A prayer that is like a child's plea who calls out for his mama when he has fallen. We cry out, knowing in our faith that God will answer. And in that moment, when we plea and God answers, we find one another. Heaven and earth meet. Steadfast love from above, faithfulness from below will meet. Righteousness and peace will kiss each other. John the Baptist found his prophetic plea in Isaiah 43. John stood not in the strength of a temple or the promised land, but out in the wilderness, and called out, "Prepare the way of the Lord, make straight in the desert a highway for our God." Now, anyone who's been in the wilderness knows that it is a humbling place in which to wander. You cannot control the river. You cannot get your arms around the giant sequoia. You cannot stop the blue jay from taking the bread you might leave on your picnic table. Perhaps that's why many of us recognize God in nature. For there we stand in another's creation as a child stands in a home that is not ours. So in these final words of the psalm, I hear the similar echo of Isaiah. Righteousness will go before him and will make a path for his steps. When we humble ourselves, when we turn back to our God with the longing of a child, when we stop trying to go forward on our own skill and our own power, we prepare the way. Righteousness will go before him and will make a path for his steps. Hey guys, look up, look there. Before us goes our God. Amen.